Hello everyone, hope all is going well and welcome to this new weekly market outlook video on Hydra funding. My name is Hydra and together we'll dive into the charts, look at whatever every asset class is going to do, but first, before we dive into the charts, we will always look at the economic calendar. So if we look at next week, I'm always only looking to USD red folder news events, and as you can see we have no news on Monday, no news on Tuesday, no news on Thursday, and also no news on Friday. But on Wednesday we have a very big news event, FOMC. So what this tells me is that probably the week is going to start slow, and on Tuesday the market can be a little choppy because it's the day prior to a very big news release. And on Wednesday, if no manipulation happened already on Tuesday or Wednesday London, I expect Wednesday with FOMC a lot of manipulation to happen, and after that the market will show its hand and see wherever price will go. If the manipulation is already happened, then I expect the FOMC to trade into one direction, and that's the opposite direction of wherever the manipulation is. And I will expect Thursday and Friday to follow up on that direction that Wednesday will show. So let's dive into the charts now. Like always, I want to start with DXY. So let's just go to DXY on the daily chart. As we mentioned last week, we talked about this daily balanced price range where we traded in beautifully, like discussed before. Created a crack in here, we've traded lower since then. And since then we've been a little bit chopping around, trading in this daily fair value gap over here, and the market has been pretty indecisive since then. I still expect us to follow this bearish bias over here because we have a bearish crack over here in correlation at the highs with the euro, and over here we also have a bearish crack in correlation to the GBP. For example, if you see here, you can clearly see that we make a lower high here on the DXY. What should the GBP do whenever the DXY is making a lower high? It should make a higher low. When that doesn't happen, there's a crack in correlation, which you can see here. The GBP made a lower low where the DXY made a lower high. That's a crack in correlation because they are inversely correlated, and it was also in this beautiful 4-hour balanced price range over here. So you can see, so this is beautiful price action. We've been reversing since then. So yeah, I'll still be following the same bias. We'll be bullish on either the GBP and the euro, and on DXY I'll still be bearish unless proven otherwise, or unless some obvious bullish cracks will occur. But for now on, gun to my head, I would still expect us to trade lower with this sell side liquidity over here in mind and here in mind. I won't say we will be trading there this week. We also need to be carefully watching what FOMC is gonna do. But for now on, following this bias, I would say we are bearish. But of course, anything can change if the market shows something different. Then the euro, we've already slightly been talking about the euro, but there's one side note I want to add here. Also a crack in my voice, not only crack in correlations in the markets. As you can see here, we have a beautiful sell side liquidity pool over here below these lows over here. Equal lows over here on the euro, which indicates a lot of sell side liquidity, just above this daily balanced price range over here, which is a combined inverse fair value gap with a fair value gap, and also this alt low over here, swing low. So there's a lot of sell side liquidity here. Although I'm bullish for now on the euro, whenever something bearish really obviously happens on the bearish side, I'm happy to short this market because the sell side liquidity is just too obvious in my eyes. Then let's move over to crypto. Last week I discussed that crypto was kinda indecisive because there were either bullish cracks as bearish cracks, and we would have liked to wait for the market to show its hand. Well, it did now, as you can see here, following the bullish crack over here where Ethereum makes the higher low over here, Bitcoin makes the lower low inside the daily fair value gap, What we want to see after that is we want to see some more confirmation on the lower time frames, or even higher if possible. And you see that we have a clear displacement here on both Bitcoin and Ethereum, which indicates for me that we want to trade higher from now on. If you can see here, we have the beautiful buy side liquidity pool on Ethereum, which I would really like to take a lot of liquidity above here, and I'm really bullish on this pair, and I would eventually also like us to trade towards new all-time highs. So maybe a new alt season is around the corner. Let's wait what the market will do, and what FOMC will do, of course. But for now on, what I will say is I'm definitely bullish for crypto. Then gold, believe it or not, for the first time in 10 weeks, we have not made a new higher high on gold. I know you probably don't believe it, but it's true. As you can see here, we see the silver chart. We've had a double crack here with gold. Believe me for my word, I don't need to switch to the gold market. But gold here made just a slightly higher high. Comparing these highs, where silver obviously made a lower high over here. Trading just inside this 4-hour fair value gap, which can be called just a slight tap in this fair value gap, can also be called an institutional order flow entry drill, also called a IOFED. Just tapped into it, and then after doing that, it created another cracking correlation on the lower time frame, where we see another lower low forming on the silver, where gold made another higher high over here. And you see after that we've been trading into a mitigation block over here on the lower time frame, and we've been sharply trading lower. And I expect us to follow that bias, at least for now, unless we see some real obvious bullish cracks to happen again. Because as you can see, we've built a lot of sell side liquidity over the last few weeks, the last 9 weeks actually, on either silver and gold. I don't expect us to trade all the way over here right away, but lower prices and lower targets are obvious for the eye to catch now. So let's see how far we can go, and let's just follow the cracks. I hope this video was interesting to you. Thank you for watching. Good luck on trading this week. Be careful for FOMC. Don't trade the London session before FOMC. That's what I would recommend, because the market can be really volatile. And also the day before, so Tuesday, the market can be a little more choppy than usual. So please be aware of that. Other than that, I wish you all the best for this week, and I hope to see you in next week's video. Take care.